I think we're ready to roll.
I think we're ready to roll. Well, this one's the classic one.
Yeah.
Word. How long has it been since we sat in this room, Zach?
Probably 2 weeks, I think.
I think just about 2 weeks. For everyone else, doesn't matter because for the first time in a long time, we're actually on track. We're actually on schedule, and we slammed a bunch of episodes in preparation, which we would never do. We would have just been like, oh, just miss a week.
Yeah, it's so funny because when I think about missing recording sessions nowadays, it's like it's become such a part of like the routine because we've been doing it for so long that now it's like I was in Hawaii and I was like, fuck, man, I wish I could film today because it was Wednesday. And I was like,
So
oh,
Wednesday
shit.
wakes up, I got to drive to Arth. Oh, can't do that.
I am on an island. Anyways, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the On Education Station podcast. Of course, my name is Zach. I'm here with my buddy Arthur.
Arthur here.
Yeah, dude. So for those of you who haven't watched the last couple episodes, because we kind of talked about this a lot, I went and spent a week over in Hawaii. And as you can probably tell, because I'm uncharacteristically tan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I spent a week over there. I was at
I was expecting you to be burnt. Like, I was expecting you to show up to my door red. So
No.
this is pretty good. You handled yourself really well.
Oh, I got burnt to shit.
Oh, okay. Well, you had about, 5-6 days limbo, or limbo, I'd say that, when you came back, because you came back Friday, right?
Yeah.
So it's been handful of days, actually. So you've had some time to remove some of that radiation.
The UV rays.
Remove some of the UVs stuck to the skins. It's good.
Yeah. So it was really funny because I ended up getting burnt like my third day there. And we ended up, so the resort that I was staying at was Alani. So it's the Disney resort in Oahu, Hawaii. And
Is that different from Alani?
huh?
Is that different from Alani? Or is it Alani?
Alani is a casino.
Right.
Alani is a Disney resort.
Man, these things are confusing.
I
That's
know.
why I don't leave my damn house. I do have a story about leaving my house, though, but you can keep going.
Anywho, so I ended up.
Your story is way better because you went to Hawaii.
You're like, I left my house, and I'm like, oh no way, I did too.
Thousands of miles away.
Oh wow. So we ended up. The resort that we were staying on was like right off of the beach, so you could just kind of like walk down there.
Sure.
And so we ended up renting a couple paddle boards, and we were just kind of paddle boarding around and everything like that. And I think that was what did me in because I had gone swimming and spent like the entire day out in the sun and everything was fine. And then I went out to paddle boarding and I just got crispy.
Right.
And
paddle boarding is you're in the boat thing and you're paddling like the
no, so it's basically like an extra large surfboard, and then you have like an
that's
oar.
right.
Yeah.
Duh. Sorry. Duh. I'm forgetting these things. Yeah, and then you have the thing that you do the thing with.
Yeah. Also, by the way,
Imagine kayaking but standing up.
yes, vertical kayaking. So, so basically, one thing that I'm really proud of, I'll pat myself on the back for that, is I didn't end up falling like at all when I was out there. And it was so funny because both of my brothers were out there with me and they wanted me to fall so bad. Like they were hoping and praying that I would just absolutely eat shit and fall. And it was so funny because like when I first was standing on the paddleboard, it was like I was learning how to walk and I was a newborn giraffe.
Of course.
As one might. And so it was just super funny how I would get really, really, really close to falling and somehow I would recover. And both of them were just like super gutted about it. It was so funny.
Hey man, haters are your motivators. Come on now.
Yeah, I was definitely being
Too busy blocking out the haters.
with my SPF 50. Nice.
That's fun. So did you try surfing?
No, so we really, really wanted to go surfing when we were there. It's just in that time of year, the waves are like really, really choppy and it can be really dangerous. And
have you been surfing?
I have, but it's been like 10 years almost.
Sure.
But yeah, it was really cool when we ended up renting a car and just kind of like doing a circle around the island. And so we ended up going to the North Shore, which is where all of like the world-class surfers go, basically.
Okay.
And Vans, the shoe company, was running a competition at the North Shore.
Ooh.
And so we didn't get to see the event happen because I think it was supposed to be happening like this week. But we were able to go and see people practicing, and I took a couple pictures and everything like that. And so, yeah, the waves were like 30 feet tall. It was fucking horrifying.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Yeah. So we decided to
Didn't want to cowabunga that one.
No.
No, not radical, bro.
Well, I don't know about you, Arthur, but I don't really want to fall 30 feet onto my face in the water. But that'd be gnarly, though.
That would be gnarly.
That'd be fucking metal, bro.
That's still fun, though.
Yeah.
Paddleboarding and such. Did you do anything else in the water? Just paddleboarding? And then, obligatory beach things.
Mostly just paddleboarding and just regular old beach activities. Nothing really too interesting, but yeah. And then
mostly stick to the resort, or
yeah, for the most part, we had the one day out, and then we would kind of venture out to do like restaurants that are around the resort, and then I went to go see the Pearl Harbor Memorial, which was really cool. Yeah, that was super fascinating, and I ended up taking probably like 3,000 pictures while I was in Hawaii. So I am stoked about that.
Fun. Are there any public right now?
I'm trying to think. I know that I posted a couple of me on like my personal Instagram.
Sure.
But other than that, I don't think I posted anything anywhere else yet, just because I just couldn't be asked.
Sure.
And like I have so many pictures.
Then whip
to go
out
through.
the phone for the quick pic.
What? No, it was mostly like if I was gonna capture a moment, like I usually had my camera on me, or I was just you know what, my camera's in my room. I'm just gonna enjoy this while I can.
Fair.
That type of thing. So I definitely did pretty good about keeping the camera away until it was things that I knew I was gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, we're going and traveling around the entire island, like. You know, that definitely is the best time to bring a camera and just go run around and act like a tourist, you know, because I've never been on any of the islands, and so I felt like I had to, you know, kind of make up for that.
So this was your first time in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
When I went to Hawaii, not to steal your thunder, because don't worry, there's no thunder to be stolen. When I went, it was not boring. It's just I think we just didn't do enough things. And also, we weren't very motivated to do anything. We stuck to the resort, and like there was like a little village thing, right? You know, so we just kind of stuck there, and kind of went around. And there was this like lagoon thing, but it smelled like shit. And maybe that's what lagoons smell like.
Did it smell like actual like feces, or did it smell like?
It just smelled really bad. And maybe feces, maybe like a very specific smelling feces that doesn't necessarily distinctly smell like feces, but some sort of variant of species. Poop.
Species of species.
Species of feces, Pacific Ocean. No, it smelled like shit, so me and my parents never went there. We went to the beach, but it wasn't like... It was just really humid, right? It wasn't really sunny. It was just really humid. So like we went there and it was like cool, but we didn't like throw a football or anything. It's weird, right? Because I myself enjoy, like, believe it or not, Zach, enjoy getting active.
Get up and play an hour a day.
It sounds weird, I know, but if we're at a family outing or whatever, the beach, I'd be down for some beach football, or or go to the rec center and play some basketball, or swimming or rock, whatever, right? Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah.
But something about my immediate family, right? Yeah, I get those confused for some reason, even though it makes sense which intermediate versus immediate. Nobody cares. We're kind of introverts at heart. So when you take 4 introverts and go to Hawaii, there's things we want to do, but it's also like,
Yeah.
So when we went, we kind of stuck to the resort, didn't leave too far, and then every now and then we would leave the resort and walk around and just for like a restaurant, and then we would kind of go to the beach and like that's cool, and then that's about it. We didn't go surfing, we didn't do anything else. We did that's a lot. We did do one cool thing. We went diving. I think is what right or scuba diving, I guess. Not like deep diving or whatever, but you'd get suited up and they I was going to ship you. I don't think ship you is not the right word, but they sail you, further into the ocean, and you got the snorkel and stuff, and then it's a whole thing, and they teach you how to snorkel and go underwater and stuff, and then you just go underwater and then look at fish and stuff and turtles and shit.
That's really cool.
It was really cool. So that was probably the coolest thing that happened, and then otherwise we just kind of did fuck all and ate food and stuff.
But the food is really
the food is really good. It was I guess we did do like this whole I didn't want to bring it up because it wasn't that fascinating or wasn't that cool. There was like this whole tour thing about and then was seeing like Hawaiian culture and then doing that being the whole Hawaiian culture stuff was very cool. Yeah. It's just the tour as a whole was not very like this is the highlight, it wasn't really like honestly like everything about the culture and stuff, the dancing and the funny words and it's really weird being as an Asian being in a place like Hawaii and hearing people speak like they're like islanders because they are islanders, but they sound like they have an Asian accent, but they speak fluent English. Weird as shit, Zach. The weirdest shit.
That was really weird.
Like this is how I feel like it's gonna be when I go to the Philippines because English is still a dominant language there. But in my mind, Asia is Japan and China and Laos, Thai, Vietnam, Cambodia. They're going to speak their their native language and strictly only that. And then maybe they'll say some English words to pity us, right?
Yeah. Because English has taken over the world.
Yeah. But I remember just going there to Hawaii, and I remember that whole tour ride that I mentioned. There was a tour guide, and he was just legit just looked like some Asian dude, and he had this nice strong accent and he was fluent English. I'm like, this is so strange.
Yeah, the idea of someone speaking fluent English but having such a strong accent is just such a mind fuck because you're like, wait a you're speaking a language that is technically not your native language, but you're speaking it so well that like. Huh?
I mean, if you live in America, right?
Yeah.
This is America, and you live here for a while, and yes, just because you live in America doesn't necessarily mean, and you come from a different country does not necessarily mean you lose your accent after a while. It may kind of deteriorate, but we've been in the phone calls with the Indian customer service, and they've probably been here for a while, Zach. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with Chinese and Asian, or Asian in general, right? Chinese, Japanese, Lao, whatever, and all sorts of cultures. You're not going to lose that necessarily unless you grew up here, I think. Yeah. If you grew up here, like me, I don't have no Asian accent. I don't really do that without sounding ironic. So
you would hope that I don't have an Asian accent either.
I would hope, right. So it's really weird. I don't know. It's something about, like, maybe it's just because we're in Hawaii. Because I just felt, it's still America, but it feels like you're in some sort of America-Asia fusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like some Asian, like a Southeast Island, Malaysia type America fusion thing. And to be fair, to my understanding, there's a very dominant Asian, like Japanese specifically, culture or demographic there. To my understanding,
it was really, really cool because I ended up taking a couple Ubers while I was in Hawaii, and one of the drivers that I met was from South Korea, and he said that a vast majority of the population there that isn't native to the islands are from Korea, Japan, and China. So it's super, super interesting, and yeah, there were so many really awesome interactions that I had with people while I was over there, and it was really convenient because I got to just kind of tag along with my family because my family is way more social than I am. And so I was able to just kind of...
You're a pretty social guy still. Zach, you hear what I just said about my own family?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was really cool.
But knowing your family, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree with you.
I'm the least social one out of my family, which is saying a lot.
It is.
So we ended up having one of the servers at one of the restaurants on the resort. So he ended up being super chill with my oldest brother, Bryce. Bryce had never been to Hawaii, or like, as far as I know, he had never been on the resort or anything
Bryce
like that.
is the guy that got you into Club 404 or whatever the fuck, right?
Club 33.
That one, yeah. Error 404. That's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who sweet talked that one chick who got you into into the Disney place.
Yeah. Yeah. So the saga continues.
Bryce still spitting that Riz.
Bro, he's got charisma 100. Like
ultimate Riz from Bryce. Shout out to Bryce.
Yeah. He never watches this, but that's okay. So basically Bryce ended up kind of like not sweet talking, but just, chatting it up with this server. And he ended up working at the restaurant, which was like right outside of the pool. And then he also worked at the pool and at the beach. And so we ended up running into him a lot. And so we ended up having, so they sold these little ice cream things. And yeah. And so Bryce was like, hey, yo, Toa was his name. Do you think we could get a shot of coconut rum mixed in with these? And he was like, let me see what I can do. And so basically he ended up buying 2 things of ice cream, 2 shots of rum, and then he brought it over to our table and like mixed it up and like put it all together. And that was just, it was so fucking good, dude. Like,
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And then after that, he ended up going to like just a regular old like hometown Hawaiian market.
Sure.
And he bought us a bunch of like chicken wings and like a whole bunch of different, super good local homemade food. It was the coolest fucking thing ever. I was like,
wow,
wait, he just did that just because he wanted to? And Bryce was like, yeah. I was like, what?
Hey man, this kind of the culture of giving and stuff. I think that kind of reflects that Asian culture as well, because that kind of exists in Asian culture.
Yeah.
I can't speak for every country, but I know, like in Southeast Asian and stuff, it's like, there's like you barter. I know it's a weird concept in America, but you barter and stuff, and you do things like that where you can get more than you ask for. They'll throw in something else for just cause, things like that, right?
Yeah.
That being said, going out and buying things just specifically for you is a bit different, but it's just, hey, scratch each other's backs type of thing.
Yeah.
I know my cousins, they did like a girls trip over to Vegas, right? I think it was Vegas, and something I learned, it's for sure a double standard thing, but being a female group, for every single bar and group and club they went to, they were getting free drinks, all free rounds, all that shebang, and it was just kind of this, but it was also just kind of, it was usually in these Korean barbecue, these Asian stores, Asian bars, I guess. And it's just kind of like they come in like, hey, should do some rounds. Let's have some shots. I'll do it with you. I'll do the first couple. This is a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I want to say it's that kind of just more collective culture of, let's just do whatever. Whether it's on me, whether it's on you, who the fuck cares, right?
Yeah.
So that could be a fun thing in Hawaiian culture, or just that type of culture in general.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool because I really found, like, the treat, if you're just really nice to people, especially people who deal with tourists a lot, like I've found that they will just absolutely go above and beyond.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice for me because like I don't have it in me to like be shitty to people.
Right.
And so it's like, this is dope. Like I just act like a decent human being and they're just like, oh yeah, have a free whatever. And like,
crazy how that works.
I know, it's so weird, right?
You're nice and you get nice things back. That's crazy.
That's fucking wild. But yeah, there were a handful of times where like, go to a restaurant and like, they would take one of the drinks off of our tab, or, it was just kind of like, or, oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So we ended up going to a pretty fancy restaurant that was inside or it was at like a golf course.
Okay.
It was like a fancy schmancy club thingy madoo-bobby. And so we ended up going in, and this guy was really, really nice. And, we were easily going to spend $100, $150 a person there.
Sure.
And so we were just kind of hanging out, and he was like, oh, do you guys want any desserts or anything like that? And we were like, no. And he was like, I bet. Or I think
I said, no, I bet.
I think two of us at the table ended up getting dessert. And so he ended up bringing like plates and spoons and stuff. And he put a plate and a spoon in front of me. And I was like, wait, I didn't order anything. And he was like, shh. And then yeah, literally. And then he came back. He gave the two people, whoever bought the dessert, and then he plopped like a chocolate mousse in the center of the table, and he was like, "You guys have to try this." Or no, it was a chocolate lava cake.
Oh, fuck! Break my diet for those.
Yeah, and it was really funny because the bill was like ridiculous, and he didn't end up splitting it up, and what we decided to do was one person was going to pay for it, and then we were all going to send that person money.
Sure.
And so my oldest brother gave him his card, and we were just kind of joking around about the card was going to bounce, and then he was like, all right, so am I just going to meet you guys out front, and then we're just going to run out of here? And we were like, yeah, dude. And we were like, hey, man, we got a couch for you to sleep on. You're golden, man. Like, we could all hop in the Uber together, and then we'll just run home. But yeah, it was just like, it's so funny how it's not funny. It's so interesting.
I think it's funny.
Okay, well, that situation is really fucking funny, but it's so interesting how appreciated it is to be nice to people. And like, I kind of forget because I don't work in customer service very much anymore. And so I'm not like dealing with shitty people all the time.
Right.
But like, I kind of forget how often you end up having to deal with like stupid shitty tourists who are just like hoity-toity rich people who are like, they just are like, I want everything to be perfect. And then, I had a restaurant, like one of the restaurants that we went to, we just went there for drinks. Like we just went over there for drinks. And one of the, I think it was a Mai Tai, and they make it with like a macadamia nut topping on it.
That's
Yep. And that's death for me.
For you.
And so I asked them, and it wasn't like actual macadamia nuts sprinkled on top. It was like a blended sauce that they made. And so I asked for it without it. They were like, I bet. They gave me one without it. And then I asked for another one, and they were like, no macadamia nuts, right? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, cool. And then I ended up drinking the whole thing. It was delicious. And then as I was walking back to the hotel or back to the resort, I got like the tingly tanglies.
Yeah.
And my throat my tongue was starting to get a little numb, and I was like, oh fuck. And so we got back to the hotel, and I just
cross-contamination will do that.
Yup. And so I ended up going back to the hotel, taking a shit ton of Benadryl, sleeping like a fucking log.
Yeah, that'll do it. That Benadryl will do it. That Benny will knock you cold.
Benny and the Jets. Yeah, so it was fine. Like I
that's good.
Didn't die, obviously. But I just kind of laughed it off after that. I was just like, that was so fucking dumb.
Sure,
like I can't believe I almost got taken out by a fucking nut.
By it, yeah, I know. You think about it, but that's a lot of people, with allergies and things. That's why I feel blessed to not have like a really direct allergy.
Yeah.
To at least food things. that
Right.
I know about. You know that we discovered.
But the really cool thing is that every single restaurant that I went to was very, very respectful of like my allergies and everything like that. Like they took it very seriously, which was really, really cool. Because like I'm not used to people giving a shit. They're just like,
yeah.
oh shit, is that gonna kill you? And I'm like, I don't know. Is it? You tell me. You made it. Like what? But yeah, and especially at like Disney resorts and everything like that, they take that shit very, very seriously.
Sure.
Just because
Disney does not want to get sued. I bet they get lost. They get probably like lawsuit cases or whatever like once a week. Probably.
Oh, probably.
Probably couple times a week. People just trying their luck, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this happened, that happened. Disney's like, God, another one. Just put it in the bin.
Yeah. So they don't want one that's actually gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, staying at the resort was so cool, and just being able to, like, I had my own room. I was by myself in my room, and it was definitely very nice to just have my own space where I could just chill out and like not do anything and not have to deal with people. Because I kind of forgot about this, but I have what I call like a social meter, where it's like I have like X amount of social interaction time before like my brain just completely shuts down, and I'm like, I need to go
home. I need to go home. I need to not be here anymore.
Yes.
Everybody has it.
Yeah.
Mine is really tiny.
Yeah, so I found that being with my family all the fucking time, going out, interacting with different people, doing all that kind of stuff, it really ran the social timer down a lot. And so I ended up spending pretty much an entire day. I think it was the day after the martini, or the, what did I say? Mai Tai.
The
Mai
coconut ice cream thingy.
The Mai Tai incident.
Or yeah, that's right. The nutty things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to take a breather. I would take a day off too.
Well, it was that night, and then I just took the whole next day. I was just like, fuck this, dude. Yeah. Also, I was hungover as shit because of all the Benadryl I took.
That'll do it.
But yeah.
I'm gonna. All right. I don't know if this is the introvert in me speaking, but I'm gonna say this, right? If I go on a vacation, right? For whatever, whether a holiday or not, just a vacation. Let's say it is Hawaii, and I go for a week with my family, right? Ooh, my stomach just grumbled there a little bit. I don't know if the mic got that.
I heard it.
Sick. Or maybe it's not with my family. It's just whoever, right? I'm just with people, and we go to Hawaii, Japan. I don't know. Fuck it. Anywhere. Let's say Japan, because it's somewhere that we actually want to actively go and travel. Just because of that fact does not mean that I don't want to spend like a whole ass day just in my hotel room.
Yeah.
Like just like one or maybe even two, depending on how long we go. Because I think that, yeah, you do need to recharge that quote unquote social media a bit. And there's a lot to do, and you can get overwhelmed really fast. You're interacting with a lot of people, too much people, honestly, or even the same people for too long. And that's why it's nice to have a room by yourself, which that never happens with my family, because my family is a big Asian family. We all stick together. But it is nice to have.
You sleep on the floor.
You sleep on the floor. I have an example coming up, but I believe in, and I know this, when you go on, when we're younger and your parents just take you on to places, right? And you're just like, I don't want to fucking do anything. I want to sit in the hotel and play my Game Boy.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, let's go to Disneyland. Let's do this and that or whatever, wherever the fuck you are. Let's just say California, for example. Go to Disneyland, Universal Studios, whatever the fuck, right? But like one whole ass day just to sit just in the hotel room and do nothing. Just chill. Maybe at most go out to eat and then come back to your hotel room and continue slamming the Elite Four. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That to me, it's because it's a vacation. You're meant to relax.
Yeah.
I think the relaxing portion is forgotten when you go on vacation, and you just want to explore and adventure.
Yeah.
That gets tiring because you're exerting energy, and unfortunately, even as a kid, especially as a kid, although you have so much energy, you can't be fucking asked.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite, where you can be asked, but I just don't have enough energy.
Yeah.
I do want to explore, but I don't have enough energy. Let's take that. I just need a breather. I just want to sleep in just a little bit.
I just want to take a nap,
man. Just wake me up for dinner, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, just one day, right? And that's nice. And then another thing, right? So I mentioned big family, big house, you know. So when we went to, where the fuck was it? No, Sun River, which is in Oregon, a bit deeper down, much deeper down, further down than I thought actually it was. And
in the deep depths of the deep.
The deep depths, going towards like Sister and stuff. Like it's far. I didn't know. I don't know if you've been to Sun River or not.
I have not.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a big old resort thing. I think these days, like I went there again, and it feels more like a resort for the kids. Honestly, I mean the pool is cool for a bit. Okay? Sorry, weird side tangent. I'll go back. Is it me or is the pool kind of lame these days?
Oh, it's very lame these days.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, especially like a really crowded pool, like a Furstenberg or something, or a Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah,
well, maybe Great Wolf Lodge is a little different because they have all those sorts of things, you know, like the wave and stuff. But like a pool, is it? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, it was really funny.
Lame.
It's really funny that you mentioned that because that just brought me back to a conversation that I was having with my brother Kevin, and he was like, you know, if you're not swimming and you're just sitting down, this is just like a bath with friends. And I thought that shit was so fucking funny.
Kind of is, but it's like we went there, right? And it is technically a quote unquote theme park. Not theme park. It's not the right word, but there's slides and shit, right? And there's like an indoor thing. And we did we were hanging out with some strangers and we're playing volleyball. That was kind of fun. But in general, like the whole time, after the game, I was like, fuck, dude. And then me and my cousin Brandon again, who I built the computer for, we went and then we went to the water slide and shit, right? And we did water slide shit things. And that was fun for like 1 or 2 rounds. And then we're like, all right, we've been here for like 40 minutes. I don't know. You know what I mean? What are we doing? So, and honestly, like, I would rather just start leaving and do the other things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just lame now, but the pool is like, even if it's like a hotel pool with nobody in it, I'd rather be in a hot tub or a jacuzzi.
I mean, it depends. It definitely depends on how crowded it is, and also
Perhaps.
Like, you know, what kind of day you've had. If you just want to go and lounge in the pool after like a really hot day of just wandering around, like that's entirely different from just being like, I want to go swimming, and then.
But if it's like, what I mean is like, that's the event for the day.
Oh yeah, no, that's fucking.
Yeah,
boring.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I guess to kind of backpedal a little bit, I'll let you finish your story in a second.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about this trip that I loved so much is that we had a lot of time that was just free. Like us going around and doing like our own little DIY tour of the island, like that was something that we planned after we got there.
Right.
And you know, like we had probably like 3 or 4 days that were just kind of us hanging out, not really doing a whole lot. And the things that we did do didn't end up taking up the entire day. Like the tour of Pearl Harbor, that was only like morning to early afternoon time.
Right.
And so then we had the rest of that day to do fuck all if we wanted to. And so it was definitely really nice to just kind of take things at our own pace. And people were like, oh, hey, you know, I'm going to go take an Uber down to town and I'm going to go shopping or whatever. And I'm like, I could not be fucking bothered to go shopping, so have fun, bring back snacks. I don't know, but like being able to have that freedom to do the stuff that I wanted to do, like I straight up went and got a tattoo while I was in Hawaii.
Oh, you did?
I did.
What'd you get and where?
So I have a thigh piece that goes from like here all the way up to like it touches my butt cheek, and it's
can't see in the camera, but like the kind of upper knee to
yeah. So it covers basic
your thigh.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended up getting all the Hawaiian islands, and there are a bunch of like Polynesian tribal designs like in all of the islands.
Oh, you mentioned that. You mentioned or not getting it, but you mentioned you're interested in that whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, that was brutal. Like out of all of the tattoo experiences I've had.
Wait, was it like an actual like Polynesian like
I wish it was, but it wasn't.
Okay.
But
for those at home who don't know about Polynesian tattooing, it's pretty gnarly.
bro, that shit's
it's pretty
metal.
gangster. Yeah. they take it's like it's a damn hammer and chisel type shit with ink into your skin.
Yeah, but instead of like a chisel, it's needles.
It's needles. Yeah. It's pretty gnarly. It's very cool though. Like when my archaeology class I did, we looked into Polynesians and stuff like and culture, Polynesian culture and stuff. Very cool, very cool. The whole culture around it is very cool as well.
Yeah,
but goddamn, that's some metal shit.
Yeah, I think. So the reason why I wanted to get this tattoo was something that I probably explained to you, and I've talked about on the show before. But it was one of those ideas of getting tattoos in places that I've never been before. Or like, you know, if I go outside the continental U.S., you know, like that's where I'm going to go get a tattoo to just like have a permanent reminder of that trip. And I didn't know this at the time, but the tattoo artist who ended up doing the islands actually had another thing that he was going to add to it. But that was going to turn into like a probably 8 or 9 hour tattoo session.
Woohoo! Yeah.
So I was like, we'll see. And then we ended up finishing the islands, and like he was hitting. So since I don't have a lot of meat on my bones, so it was kind of like, it definitely was a little bit less than ideal for me to be getting tattooed on my thigh.
Sure.
And so, you know, my leg was like shaking uncontrollably, and like he would hit like really weird spots where there were like nerves or tendons or whatever.
Yeah, and reflex, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. Like I wasn't doing it intentionally, or like you know, it wasn't because the pain was too bad. It was just because like I couldn't sit. I mean, it hurt like
of course
a lot, like marginally more than I expected it to. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what we were able to do, and I just told him, I was like, well, shit, this is just another reason for me to come back so that you can finish this piece. But
hey, there you go.
Yeah, I am kind of bummed that I humbled myself.
Sure. Yes.
Because, you know, like I've always gotten tattoos that were like manageable. I was able to get them done in one session. You know, like my first tattoo took 3.5 hours. You know, like all of these tattoos took many, many hours. And I never had gone over like 4 hours. And so by like the 4.5 hour mark, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can
4
do this.
hours straight pain and misery. Like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, dude. And he didn't fuck around. He was like, like straight up, he was jamming out listening to music. And like, we probably.
He said, you good? And you're crying. Yeah, you good. And he keeps going.
That's kind of how it was almost.
No. Good. That's what I like to hear. Keeps going.
Yeah, he ended up probably taking the equivalent of like a 10-minute break in that whole time combined. And like one time he just had to go to the bathroom, and then the other time we were trying to kind of figure out what our plan was for the tattoo, because I was like, oh fuck, man, this is not good.
This is tough, bro.
This is heavy. The rest of the time he was just drilling into me like that. I got roughed up, and like I think that honestly that was the first time I had ever been tattooed for like that long without a break. Like, you know, 4.5 hours, the equivalent of 2 5-minute breaks. You know, I'm used to like taking a lunch and like doing all that kind of stuff and then going back to it. You know, like a 4-hour tattoo ends up being spaced out into 5 hours,
right? At
least, if not more than that. And so getting drilled for 4.5 hours almost straight fucking sucks.
You should probably rephrase that. Getting drilled for 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
Unless that's what you want to keep. Of which case, that's totally cool. It's 2022, Zach. It's okay.
Getting
nailed.
stabbed.
Okay, stabbed. Yeah, that's better.
Getting stabbed with needles for 4.5 hours.
There you go.
So I can show you after we're done with the shoot, but it's really cool because there are.
And he says the islands.
Yeah. And there's like a shit ton of detail, like a lot of detail.
My boy slammed the topography map.
The funny thing is,
you can see the elevations.
That would be so funny.
That would be crazy. He has a key too for the shades of elevation. He's like, oh, here you go. Like, what the fuck? What'd you do?
Why is there a key on my leg? But it's really cool because he actually spaced out the islands like 100% geographically accurate. Hence the reason why it starts down here on my starts right here and then ends. I have one of the islands on my butt. Like I have one of the tiny islands on my butt cheek.
On the boot.
On the booty.
Well, it's a big area to do because Hawaii is shaped like a it's diagonal essentially. So yeah, that's very cool. Good G. Good job.
Oh, that sucked. That sucked. And like now I've gotten to the point to where it's just super fucking itchy and flaky and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like,
sorry, man.
No. Here's the thing. I expect zero sympathy whatsoever because I put myself in that situation. Sure. But like, yeah, it was pretty metal though.
Now you got to go back and get the real shit.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about doing a floral design behind it.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool. That's just another, 5 hours of tattooing that.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're not going to do the whole metal needle hammer shit, then, I do think, the floral thing is a must, right?
Yeah.
If you're getting that Polynesian style tattoo.
I do need to get tattooed that way though. Like over the course of my life.
So you want to?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know it's going to be miserable and I'm going to fucking hate myself for making that decision, but 110% like it's going to happen.
Yeah, all right, lay down, stomach on the street, bite the curb and pray for God.
Pray to God that you don't pass out because they're just going to keep going, dog.
It might be better to just knock the fuck out, honestly.
Get some sake, you're good.
Good. How'd you enjoy it? You said you tried sake for the first time.
I did. It was really good. I liked it. It's definitely an acquired taste.
For sure. But you say that about anything, right? Any alcoholic thing.
Yeah.
From region to region.
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit more bitter than I had initially expected. But that shit hit hard.
Oh, yeah. It's tough, man. It's like wine.
It's like 15% or something like that, which is a lot.
It's a lot, man. It's like sake. I'm not like a connoisseur. Obviously, I'm a weeb, and I enjoy these things. But honestly, every now and then, whenever we go to these restaurants, I may not even order it because it's also really expensive. But it's nice. There's all sorts of different kinds. Like you say, you like sake, and that's cool. But there's all sorts of different kinds. There's like really bitter ones, really fruity ones, things like that. Really like cloudy ones, really alcoholic ones, and stuff like that. So it's tough, right? One time we went to this was I don't know if I've mentioned this when we tried sake at Desa's graduation. Probably not. Desa being my cousin, Cameron's girlfriend, and we went to her graduation at WSU in Spokane, Pullman, whatever those ones are. I don't know.
I think you told this story actually.
Maybe I have.
Where you got kind of fucked up on sake.
No, I didn't get fucked up on sake. I don't get fucked up on sake.
Oh.
I got fucked up on. I did have a follow up on that when I threw up. I do have a minor follow up on that. Essentially, after talking with my uncle who fed me the poison. By the way, you can check out that episode of our embarrassing drinking stories. If you want to have a laugh at us and at our failures of being adults, yeah, you can have a fun time at that episode. I'll try to remember to say that at the end. But basically, spark notes of it is that I went to it was another graduation party, but this was back in Vancouver. And we were just we're having a time. It's a family party, and friends are here, and we're just slamming drinks. We're having a fun time, right?
Yeah.
And I am not someone who gets drunk, and I'm not going to go too long. I'm not someone who gets drunk, and my uncle comes through. He's blasted right at this point, and he goes, "Oh, Arthur, why aren't you drink? Are you drunk yet?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't really get drunk that much." And he's like, "Oh, well, you're going to get drunk tonight." So he kept feeding me, Jack and Coke. for extended periods of time, and I threw up on myself.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So I learned, right, after we were talking about it, and I mentioned that I could smell it, and it smelled like this shit's like it's getting stronger and stronger each time, right? Like the ratio is getting wider and wider.
Yeah.
And he told me, "Oh yeah, I just poured like full Jack and then like a little bit of Coke." I'm like, I fucking knew it. This homie just gave me like 95.5, and like I was just drinking straight Jack. That's why I fucking vomited, because that shit was nasty.
That shit hurted.
It shit hurted, and I did, and yeah, and whiskey is tough. And if you guys have not tried whiskey before, whiskey is tough.
I love whiskey, dude.
I can't tell if I like it or not. Like, I enjoy a really strong alcohol. I don't mind alcohol. I know that sound, to most people that's really weird. I don't mind the taste of alcohol. Mm-hmm. I've had some really strong alcohol-y drinks. People will be like, ugh, gross, and that's fair because alcohol is nasty.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I'm okay with it. But whiskey fucking sucks. I can't tell if I like it or not. It's tough.
I think it's because you just haven't had a good whiskey.
Maybe. I don't do it very often. I do have one, this Hibiki whiskey that my uncle gave me, and it was pretty good. I just mix it with Coke and stuff, and it's pretty good. Or it's okay. I don't know. I'm in that part where I don't know if it's good or not. It's just like, it's either shit or, yeah, I can drink this. And to be fair, most drinks are just kind of, yeah, I'll drink it, because the point of it is just to get a little loose. But yeah, that shit sucked. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, sake. That's right. Which I guess corroborates more of my tolerance for alcohol, where it was like or the different types of alcohol and my tolerance for it. So we ordered 2 rounds of sake. One is chotto yuzu, I think. Yuzu is like the citrusy Japanese fruit, and it's really nice. It's so pleasant to drink. It's smooth. It's nice and citrusy, right? Mm-hmm. Like this orange, how do I explain juice?
Citrus.
Yeah, I guess citrus. It's like an orangish. It's like, imagine if orange and a lemon fucked, and they made yuzu. That's what it tasted like. It's like this combo, not the fucking part, but that's the product of which. So it was nice. It's very pleasant.
It tasted like they were fucking.
It tasted like there was sex in my mouth. No, it was really nice and it was cool. And then we asked the waitress to come around. It's like, hey, this is really good. Do you mind? Do you have any recommendations for the other ones? Because I don't really know these words. I'm sorry. So my Nihongo is not Jozu enough to know these alcoholic. I don't even know normal alcoholic things. So these other words don't make no sense. Like, do you have any recommendations? And she's like, yeah, there's this one, and I really love it. It's my personal favorite. I'm like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, let's do a round. Let's have some fun. She gives it to us, and it's just so cloudy. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And man, you take a sip, and you're like, oof.
Put some hair on your balls, man.
Oh my god, that shit. Even me, I felt like I got took a shotgun to the face. I was like, oh, god damn, strong as shit, and nobody could drink it. I was like, fuck. Well, I guess I gotta finish it. So, so I finished it, and it was fun. I don't mind the taste of alcohol, but that's to go to say. There's big ranges of it, and there's also different ways to do sake. There's warm, and there's warm, hottish, and there's cold, and you drink it in certain times. It was a lot of fun. Something I'm not an experienced alcoholic, so it's not something I probably would ever get into, but it's cool. I do want to say though, speaking of Asian things, so this also is a good segue to what I was doing last night, which I went with a Christian's group. And with Christian TJ, who's not here, he's gonna come on the show. I think that'll be planned pretty soon. And Eric, who also hasn't been on the show, but he'll come too as well. Maybe we can get both of them. I don't know. So we have 4 mics these days. But we were just kind of hooliganing around. It's been a while, and we're just like, hey, literally just the night before, want to hang out tomorrow? You're like, yeah, sure. And we drove to Washington Square. The Washington Square Mall, which is in Tigard.
Oh,
yeah, quite the journey from Vancouver just for a hooliganing around.
Quite the jaunt.
Quite the quaint, and it was fun. It was cool. I've never been there actually, and damn, it's kind of nice. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I don't think I have, but I know the area.
Right. It's cool. It's pretty nice. It's a square.
Really?
Yeah, it's square.
I would have never guessed.
well, I mean, it's it feels like it was a square. It's like you hit the 4 corners. You're like, all right, cool. And that makes sense. That's a square mall. Zach, okay, I need to ask this really quick. Now, I'm no Oregonian, right? Whatever. I don't go into Oregon very much. Portland's very nearby, but my parents are more Portlandians. I don't know what the fuck they call themselves. So I'm not really familiar with Oregon in general.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Washington Square Mall in Oregon?
That is a fantastic question.
And why is it so far south into Oregon? It's not even Washington, Zach. It's in Tigard. That's like 50 minutes south from here.
I have no idea.
What the fuck? You want to go to Washington Square Mall? Yeah, cool. Where's that at? Like Yakima or some shit? No, it's in Oregon.
It's in Tigard.
What the fuck? I can't really remember the reason why. We went over to Eric's house, or Eric and Matt. He went with Matthew as well. Sorry, and he hasn't been on the show yet, or hasn't been mentioned too much. Maybe we can get on the show. If you're talking about charismatic people, Matthew is one of those people. So one of those lads who can spark up a conversation in the heat of the moment. Also very tall, and yeah, he was like. He just threw it out, Washington Square Mall, and none of us knew how far it was. We're like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? And we're going, and we're like, God damn.
Bro, okay, so to put this into perspective, the Clackamas Town Center?
I think so.
That's closer than the Washington Square Mall. And Clackamas is probably about...
40 minutes.
Yeah, about 45 minutes from here. And, like, bro...
And that's 40 minutes without traffic.
Yeah.
To Clackamas.
40 minutes with no traffic. And it's 50 minutes without traffic to Washington.
Yeah.
Washington Square Mall.
Square Mall. In Tigard, Oregon, by the way. Fun things. I love the Great Northwest. Makes no fucking sense.
Dude, honestly, the more that I've realized that nothing makes any fucking sense, the happier I've been. Because it's just like, who fucking cares? Like,
WSU isn't in Spokane, it's in Pullman. Two different fucking things. Makes no damn sense, Zach. Makes no damn sense. But anyways, speaking of Asian things, we hit up this Chinese restaurant there. I think that was kind of the goal, or one of the goals. Another goal was to go to like this Lego shop and the Star Wars shop, which is pretty cool. And then we went to this, got a walk-in reservation type of vibe. Hey, need to do the things. I didn't do it. I don't know how these things work. I don't socialize. Matthew did that.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And we got a table. And this was really cool. So I don't know. Have you ever had dim sum?
I have not.
Are you aware of dim sum?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you know how it works?
No.
So basically, I don't know what kind of culture this is. My family does it. I don't know if all Laotian or Southeastern cultures do it. And I'm pretty sure dim sum is Chinese, if I'm not correct. I don't know. But it's basically, how do I say this? Like sushi, sometimes they give you like the sheet and you just kind of mark the different sushis, like how much quantities you want.
Yeah.
And then they just come by and bring it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, but with assortments of just dishes, right? Of meats, dumplings, noodles, whatever you order, right? So it's like that, where they just come by, you mark off what you want, and then they come by with the plate over time. So it's a lot of fun, and basically the point is you don't order for yourself, you order for the table, and then you just pick from the center.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the culture of that, and it was a nice restaurant. And shout out to Tim, the waiter. Homie was cool. He dropped his like shit, and it felt really bad. But he kept his composure, cool guy. Sorry, my mic's down because I'm hitting. There we go. I need to rock back and forth without hitting the microphone. Damn, that shit was expensive, Zach. God damn, Zach. For these tiny ass portions of food, Zach.
Are we really going to talk about this again? We've already gone over this in the Club 33 episode.
This is a Chinese restaurant, Zach. There's no such thing as small portions in Chinese restaurants in America.
Arthur,
I don't care.
Arthur.
When I tell you that we ordered this, one of the plates, right? One of the things that you can order, a plate, if you will.
Right.
is Xiao. It's like called like Xiao Long Bang. I can't remember. It's like Xiao something, and it's like the soup dumplings. I don't know if you know it, but
Yeah.
it's a dumpling with soup inside of it. It's actually hella bomb. And there's 5 of us, right? And they bring a plate, and there's like 10, maybe like 11 or 12 of them, and we're like, okay, and we're supposed to share it amongst five dudes, and this thing costs $15 for that plate.
I mean, for the portion size for one person, that kind of makes sense.
See, that's what I was thinking, right? The problem is, Zach, all of these dishes were about $11 to $15, and they're all basically just single dishes. So this whole time, I'm like, dude, what's the point of this sharing shit? As someone who is within this culture,
Right.
why are these portions are so small? Because in dim sum is the same thing, but you get so much more fucking food, and it's way cheaper. To my understanding, dim sum is more of a breakfast, lunch type of thing. It's not really a dinner thing. I don't give a fuck. I'd dim sum any time of the day. But I'm like, what? Zach, when I tell you that at one point when we ordered only 5 dishes and it cost $100, and we were like, let's just go to Taco Bell after this.
So, I just came from Hawaii.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And I'm sure you know that everything in Hawaii is expensive.
Oh, I'm aware.
And you combine that with fine dining, right? You know what I mean? It turns into a lot. And so, where do I even start? So you know that restaurant that I was talking about that gave us the free chocolate lava cake or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So
you didn't mention it was expensive. The disappointment.
So I saw the check
Mm-hmm.
when we were done eating. It was like I don't think it was a 4-course meal. I can't remember, but it was like some fancy schmancy hoity-toity bullshit.
Of course.
So I look at the check, and there's, I think, 6 of us at this table.
Mm-hmm.
It was $700.
Oh my god.
And I was still like, hey, yo, we gonna hit Taco Bell after this?
That's fucked. Okay, we're not going to do that again because we have an episode for that. We have our 2 episodes now to call back to. So now we have to remember it. Which one was it? It was the food, the fine dining one.
Fine dining one.
And the drinking one.
Yeah.
All right, we got to remember that.
I'm gonna forget.
I'm gonna forget. But that was just a side tangent. But you know what was fun though during this outing that kind of made up for it, which I didn't think it was going to, is we went to round 1 on our way back. The arcade bowling shit, right? Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I didn't even know there was bowling. But in the mall. So we were on our way back, and because we wanted to hit up some bowling places, we went to one that was in Tigard because we were there. So obviously that's what we're gonna do. And for some reason they were full on a Tuesday night. And they're like, oh yeah, it's like an hour wait. We're like, an hour wait for bowling? You know, bowling takes like 20 minutes. Yeah, it's like an hour wait. What? So that was lame. So we decided, you know what, fuck it. You know, that Chinese restaurant sucked dick. So let's just go back to Vancouver and hit up round 1 on the way back, right? Because they stay open after until midnight, even though the mall here closes at 8 or I believe 9 during holiday hours. Dude, it's so cool. Have you been there? Mm-hmm. Dude, it's cool. Okay, first let's get this part out of the way. I don't like bowling. Like as a sport. I think it's stupid. Sorry, I apologize. I had some friends in the bowling the bowling team, the bowling clubs in school. I'm sorry. That being said, I've seen some professional bowlers and they do some wicked shit. But I think bowling in itself as a thing, like I first of all, I suck at it. I suck ass, and that plays a big part of it, of why I don't like bowling because I suck ass. So I'm like, it's like with the boys. It's not like a serious thing, obviously. So we're just fucking around, just having fun, doing trick shots and shit. You know the vibes, right? It's not a serious bowling game, and it was actually a lot of fun. So I'll give round 1 that. I did not like bowling, and I got a couple strikes, and I was pretty happy about myself because I never get strikes, and they were satisfying as fuck. I did like 2 of them. I didn't even look. I went for it, and I turned around. Like the cool guys that look at explosion type shit. You know what I mean? Those ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was kind of late into the night. And we're like, well, we're still here. Why don't we just hit up the arcade? Because we were only planning to do bowling. Mm-hmm. And honestly, we're like, man, we don't want to. We did one game and we're like, damn, we don't want to spend money for another game, honestly. So we're just like, well, we're here and I didn't have a card. And some of the guys there had cards and they still had some credits in them. So like, yeah, fuck it. And then so I got a card, just put like $20 in there or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, the arcade is so cool in round 1.
So I have a very interesting opinion about the round 1 at that mall.
Sure.
So you
hate it?
No.
It's the dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
No.
Zach is disappointed.
I'm disappointed, but wait, there's more. Basically, the juxtaposition between like the good quality arcade games and then the really fucking janky claw machine looking ass.
Oh, you don't like the claw machines?
Dude,
you don't like the Japanese claw machines. That's what you're saying.
Dude, they were just janky. They looked like they were literally super glued together, and it was just like super fucking weird. Like,
so there was a culture in this. I don't know if you're aware of it. This crane game culture in Japan, with these weird ass crane game shit, and there's it's just all sorts of different mini games as you've seen, right? Like you have to knock something into something, the classic, right? Claw, grip the fucking shit and put it in the hole, that thing.
Yeah.
There's conveyor belts and shit. There's wacky shit, right? I think that's fun just because it's different, because claw games suck ass in general. And honestly, you have to go into a crane game knowing you're going to go into a crane game session and know you're going to not make profit.
So I didn't necessarily think about like the context of like, oh yeah, there's like an entire subculture for like weird custom crane games. And so when I went with both of my I think I went with Andy and maybe Jackson. I don't fucking remember.
Sure.
When we went, we were just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
No, for sure. That's fair. It's fair. It's wacky. If you don't know, it's wacky.
Yeah, and then like the rest of the arcade was just like regular old fucking games, and there was a bunch of really cool like Japanese race car games and like everything like that.
So that's where I want to get into, because that shit blew my mind. So first of all, I know round 1 is a Japanese thing, or some people say it's a mix. I've heard it's like an American thing based off Japanese thing, but it's in Japan and it's kind of where it's brought. I have no fucking clue. But to my headcanon, it's a Japanese based arcade, and we have it in America. And there's a lot of Japanese influenced games. And I knew this, but I didn't know they went that hard.
Bro,
there was just a fucking whole section of just weeb games. And I'm like, what? They're like rhythm games and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like 50 rhythm games. And there's so many anime girls, cute anime girls, huge tits, all sorts of crazy shit, Zach. And there's like Hatsune Miku ones. They have Vocaloid songs. They have VTuber songs, Hololive songs. What is going on?
Yeah.
Zach, we're in Vancouver. You know what I mean?
I love how that's how you describe Vancouver.
That's how I describe Washington. You know what I mean? If you're not Seattle,
like
it's you know what I mean?
And then it's Seattle.
I'm homeless. You know what I mean? So we're going into a Vancouver. My throat just made a noise. A Vancouver arcade, and seeing a VTuber I watch dancing around to Hatsune Miku music. I felt like I was taking shrooms. This must have been the equivalent of psychedelics. It had to be.
Right.
There's no other explanation, Zach. I went inside and they're spewing gas that is making me hallucinate.
Tripping balls.
I'm tripping fucking balls, Zach. So I walk
Where
in.
did that phrase come from?
I don't know, but I'm sure if you were to huff some balls, you would trip the fuck out, Zach.
I'm just gonna leave that. Anyways, continue.
No, it was crazy. I didn't realize it was that cool. So me and my homies, we're all weebs, of course. Matthew was like a semi weeb. He doesn't hate anime. He's cool with anime. But he great guy. He was always tagging along and stuff for us in our weeb adventures. So it's cool. But man, I was fucking up this dance one where you had to do like this. You're standing up, and it was like a Xbox Connect type shit, and you had to mimic the dance move. So cool. And then there's another one where you're actually hitting buttons. It was just, and not just that, obviously. And then there's a whole other section with the American games and stuff. Slamming some Connect 4, slamming the one where you're like hitting the buttons and shit when they light up, which was a lot of fun. I won that.
Dude,
one.
the basketball Connect 4 is so much fun.
It was out of order. When we saw it and we're like, that's cool. I didn't even think, like, who thinks of that?
Yeah.
And then it was out of order. We're like, darn it. But we played some normal Connect 4. It was fun. Did some of the Pong stuff, and that was fun. And I kind of just forgot how fun an arcade was. Because my experience with arcades is like, Big Al's and Dave & Buster's. They're not bad, but you go there like, once or twice a month, and at some point you're like, all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it's also a part where I haven't been there for a long time. But I was having so much fun.
Dude, the interesting thing is that we went from wanting to go to an arcade like all the time to completely forgetting that they fucking exist.
I know. I felt like that culture just disappeared with us. Like, I thought we were the last generation of people who actually got up and went to arcades. When you play an arcade, you play a simulator on your 3080 at home because you're 12 and your mom buys you whatever you want.
With your Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting because arcades go way back to like arcade cabinets and like the Pac-Mans and
of
like
course.
The 80s the boom of video games,
Right.
And
well, not everybody can play it at home, so you have a station to play it,
right? And so now it's kind of become less of like games that you want to play that you just can't play at home to more of like novelty, like, oh, basketball, woo, or like just random things that they had to come up with. It's like it hasn't become like, I mean, obviously the novelty is still there, but it's just kind of changed and morphed over the course of time as it's become easier to just kind of play whatever game you want to play in your house,
right,
on your couch with your dog,
right,
But like, yeah, I mean, dude, when we went to round one, it was a lot of fun. Like, we went bowling as well, and like that was the main reason why we went there, was to go bowling. And then we were like, are we about to fuck up this arcade? And it was like, yeah,
we're here.
I mean, why would we come back just for the arcade? Like, fuck it, dude. Let's do it. And the bowling wasn't that expensive. Like,
honestly, it wasn't. It was probably like, so it was, I think it depends on the time. I think for one game, maybe like $6-7. And then you're renting shoes for another probably $4 or $5. Yeah. So maybe like a $12 game.
That's not bad, dude.
It's not bad.
Compared to Big Al's where it's like $30.
Yeah. Round one's got it, bro. It's because that USD to yen conversion.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Fuck yeah, dog.
That is really funny, though.
Looked up. I'm pretty sure the yen is like 7/10 of the USD, I think, or something like that.
So we're winning.
So we are winning. Get fucked. So when we go to Japan, we're going to be like, oh, we got this money.
Yeah, but everything is expensive.
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
No. Zach, you go to Japan and hit up a nice ramen place and get some ramen for like some nice ramen in Japan for maybe like, I don't know, $4 or $5. Here,
4 or 5 yen or 4 and 5?
4 or 5, well, 500 yen, so $5, all right, ish, 5 USD.
Okay.
Right, something like that, maybe even less. Honestly, depends. I don't know specifically. I'm just throwing numbers. Zach, you go to some damn ramen restaurant, ramen spot here in the Merc, and you're spending at least $15-$20 after one, after tax, two, after tipping. All right, let's get this. Oh, you're gonna see. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I told you, it's gnarly. Yeah. Oh, you probably want to do the other way around. So $1. So I mean, unless you can tangibly see 0.0074 is 0.07. No, that wouldn't make sense.
$1.
0.7%.
135 yen is $1.
Correct.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And then were you showing the screen or no?
Oh yeah, I was.
Oh, okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah. So now it's one. So let's see, 112,121. That's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. he was still pressing the numbers because of his numpad for switching cameras. So it's like nobody fucking cares that. So yeah. The round one was just fun. I was having a blast. I'd love to go back there again, and I think the Christian and their group were gonna maybe make it like a monthly thing.
Bro, I would totally join you guys.
That'd be fun, man. I fuck up the weeb games, bro. No, it actually blew my mind, Zach. Every time I see some sort of like weeb thing that isn't Naruto and Demon Slayer in Washington or Oregon.
Okay, bro. So let me. So
like that doesn't exist, Zach,
right.
in my head canon.
So I went to Barnes & Noble, the one over by the mall in Vancouver, and I was just kind of perusing around, having a great little time. I had one of my friends with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder what their manga selection is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking huge.
Oh, it's big.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I was talking to you about when I went to Powell's Books, like I found like the Your Name manga, the Parasite manga, all like Demon Slayer, duh.
Of course, yeah.
All of that stuff was at Barnes & Noble.
Uh-huh.
Like, what?
And more.
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble's pretty stacked, honestly.
Bro, they had Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, and they have the most obscure shit, Zach, too.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the obscure shit that I didn't even know had an official English translation.
But it does.
But what? This is shit that I found on like websites years ago and only like 3 chapters. What happened? Who's rating this?
Who's translating this?
What motherfuckers? What motherfuckers are rating it? Zach, me. I'm motherfuckers. 1 out of 2 people in the room, Zach. Today it's me.
Peaky McGee.
So it's cool, and we're gonna go back. That's what I'm gonna do after the show today. I'm gonna go back there, trade some normie Slayer manga and stuff, and see if I have some money to spend. I was thinking of getting a Barnes & Noble gift card for my cousin, who she is super into Barnes & Noble and reading and shit, so that'd be fine. But then I was thinking of this weird logistic thing where I have a Barnes & Noble gift card. Like I have one. So I'm going to use this Barnes & Noble gift card to buy a Barnes & Noble gift card.
What? Why not just give them the...
That's what I'm saying, right? But I also want to buy some books. So this is a weird exchange dilemma where I'm about to use a Barnes & Noble card as well as my own money to buy manga and another Barnes & Noble card. I mean, so then I just keep the Barnes & Noble card and then I buy it with my own money. But then it's like this weird thing, a transaction thing in my mind where I just have this card.
So what if you just
don't give it to her? Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna buy my damn manga.
Well, I was gonna say you could just buy the gift card, give gift card to whoever you're gonna give it to, and then use your own gift card to buy manga.
Weird shit. I'm just thinking about.
That seems so trivial, though.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That you really have fucking checkmated yourself.
I have checkmated myself.
You're like, what is a good thing to do right now? I do not know.
I'm gonna use my Barnes & Noble gift card to buy a Barnes & Noble gift card. This is gonna be great. But I do have a membership because my friend who I'm going with told me you should get one. And I'm like, all right. And to be fair, the benefits are pretty good, even though I don't buy it a lot or buy books a lot there. And I did the math. I'm pretty sure you need to buy like, I don't know, maybe like a couple, I think 30 or so books before it becomes profitable. And it's a one-time purchase. It's not like a subscription thing. So it's whatever. I'm like,
How much was it?
I don't remember. Probably $10, maybe $15 or so. That's a guess. I don't remember.
Well,
and you get like 10% off.
yeah. I mean that
It's pretty good. If you know you buy a bunch of books, yeah, it's pretty good. So I was like, yeah, fucking what? I'm here, man. Fuck around and find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did it. And so that's
you're
cool.
like, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna buy
man, shit, man. Fuck, man, shit. You know what I mean?
How many volumes of Demon Slayer are there? I just buy all of them and it'll pay
profit. Yeah.
Stonks.
They're practically giving it away. I've took a marketing class, Zach, and I dropped out of it. But I did some of the quizzes.
Got a great deal.
I did a 7,000 word paper for that class. Hated myself.
Good God.
Hated myself. God damn.
Anyway, so when I was in Hawaii,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the cool things that happened. They did a luau at the resort.
Oh,
that was
that's the dancing
fucking-
thing, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
Very cool.
And there was like this giant buffet with a shit ton of food, free booze,
Mm-hmm.
and it was super super fun. Like they did this whole elaborate performance and all of that kind of stuff.
Maybe if I was not 12 and I was 21, that would have been a way more fun tour.
Maybe.
Maybe, huh? With a
I
little
mean,
with a little bit of alky in there, you know?
I mean, yeah, that actually does kind of make sense.
Mm-hmm. That being said, the fire dancing was super cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. They did some fire dancing at the luau. It was really really fascinating to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Did they give you the potato start? It's called like poo, I think. I think it's literally called poo.
No.
I didn't get to try it because I was a kid and I was scared. But now I'm a grown ass man. I kind of want to try it. Some sort of Hawaiian cuisine. They called it poo or something like that. And it's like potato and probably taro and some sort of thing or whatever. Like it's a traditional Hawaiian dish. I'm like, cool. Just like potato. All right, word. I'm not gonna eat it because I'm 12 and you called it poo.
You called it poo. Yeah, I think everything is more fun when you've had a little bit of alcohol. Like the most trivial, boring shit could just be so entertaining.
No, for sure. I think I'm still in the camp where you can have fun without alcohol.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
oftentimes, if I don't care enough to drink alcohol or I'm driving or something, I'm not going to drink alcohol, right? I don't care. I'll have a good time. But I do admit that even just a pint is enough to just at least just like loosen a little bit. Not even if whether you're tipsy or not.
Yeah.
It's just enough to kind of just, even if it's like more of a social thing where you drink with them and you're kind of you're along for the ride whether you're drunk or not. They're probably drunk and some of the lightweights are probably drunk first, and it's more of a laughing with each other and at each other type thing. So it's more of a social thing, rather than you being drunk or / tipsy or not, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love those moments because it's like a battle of attrition. Like you're like, who's gonna get drunk first and fall asleep?
Oh, it's always the same people. They can't do it very well.
Yeah. I'm usually, the one who's putting these people to bed, but it is what it is. But yeah. Dude, it was really cool just kind of being able to get away from my day-to-day life and go out and do some really fun, really cool shit. Take some really cool pictures that I'm really stoked about. And
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, dude. I have like a whole ass.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I have another thing.
What is it?
Cool. So last week, I think Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I went to a Kevin Hart show.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I guess I didn't tell you then. So it was like during Thanksgiving, and I was with my family and stuff, and we're hanging out, and then they were planning on they're going to Kevin Hart or whatever, and then my cousin Brandon again, he had 2 tickets. It was gonna be his parents, but then his parents couldn't make it, so he got one of the tickets. You want to come along? Sure, yeah, I'll come along. And I've never been to a comedy show. Have you been to a comedy show? Like a stand-up comedy show?
I have, yeah.
Okay, cool. This is my first one. So I was excited. It was in the Moda Centers. And I don't remember the last time I went to the fucking Moda Center. Because I don't go to Portland again to be... if I wanted to be disappointed, I would just go on Tinder. So...
Fucking
I would just...
rough.
So I went to the Moda Center, and I don't know if this is like every comedy show, but this was a first for me. They had us lock our phones up.
Oh.
Like to get in, there was like a whole line, and as you went through, they gave you this magnetic pouch. You put your phone, smartwatches, AirPods, even all sorts of these things. You stick it into this envelope thing or whatever, and magnetically shut, and you can proceed. So no cameras or anything, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense, right? Because I think that's been the culture for comedy shows in general since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And that's a thing that they kind of want to uphold, and I respect that. But it was mad weird. That being said, go into the whole thing, and you're having a time. Doesn't matter whether your phone's out or not. And I like that experience. It was definitely very odd, like just not having your phone. But I mean, I wasn't going to record anything, but I'm sure other people would, so I understand, right? But it was a lot of fun. Oh, I was laughing. I was having a time.
So did you keep the little thing on you, like with the little magnet?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which is very dangerous because I got up with my uncles to get beer, and I went back and I set it down, and then about 30 minutes in, I was like, oh, fuck. I can't find it. Turned out it was under my seat. But I was like, I was having fun, but for the next 2 hours, I was semi-stressed. There was
like, oh fuck,
oh fuck, where did it go? My phones are there. But it was so much fun. Kevin Hart. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of comedy growing up, but I've watched Kevin Hart classic stuff. She was ready. Like everyone's watched it. And watching comedy shows. Who else did I watch? Gabriel Iglesias and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's about it, honestly. I didn't really watch a lot of comedy shows until recently, because I did watch Dave Chappelle when I got a hold of my friend's Netflix. Don't have it anymore, unfortunately, and that was cool. But Kevin Hart, after watching this one, I got really into it. So I've been watching. I know Netflix has this, like, Netflix is a joke channel where they have their comics do a bunch of stand-up and stuff. Compilations of their shows. A lot of fun, and also, fun stories, impactful stories. Dave Chappelle specifically, now that he's older, he has a lot of really good speeches and stuff. I've been super into it. But this show specifically, I love Kevin Hart, but ironically, I thought his opening acts were way more funnier, like his headlining acts with these guys called the Plastic Cups, I think. Very funny guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the opening act, so they played there's like 3 of them, and they did their jokes before Kevin Hart, right? And it was a lot of fun. They were hilarious. Kevin was hilarious too, obviously. I'm not saying he wasn't. And I was laughing. I was dying. Slammed my beer. It was a grand old time, right? And I loved it a lot. I'd love to go to another comedy show. I don't know who or what, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to go see Steve-O a couple years ago.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was like a multimedia comedy show where he would like show videos of things that he wanted to do for Jackass, but he wasn't able to, and so he just decided to make it a part of the comedy show.
Sure.
And it was really fun. And like he took pictures with every single person who was there, which was really cool. And it was at like a small little quaint little comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really fun, and I went with Jackson, and that was super sick. That was the day after I got my back tattoo.
Word.
Yeah, so it was really, really fun.
Oh, yeah, big one. Yeah. He's like, why you fucked me up, dog?
It did fuck me up, dog.
Yeah, while you were gone, I was trying to stay busy as much as possible, socializing as I could. Did a lot of socializing, honestly. I fucking hate socializing. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, I fucking hate people.
Thanksgivings and parties and stuff. I'm like, fuck, dude. But no, it was good. I need to get back into watching anime. Bocchi the Rock, obviously,
Of course.
Currently sweeping right now, but it's all good. I need to. You mentioned you started Attack on Titan, which was the anime that Cameron had you watch, and I'm sure that's pretty good.
Dude, it's so funny. So I started it.
It's wild because, real quick, because I said it beforehand, it's funny how Cameron and I, the bigger weebs, haven't gotten to the anime that we've recommended, but you have. You're the one who started it. So now I guess we have to do it.
Cameron.
Hey, man. I got to watch your guys too.
Yeah. It's really funny because, like, the first couple episodes were a little bit slow and everything like that. Like, they had a lot of plot to fill you in on.
Sure.
And then shit just went hard. Yeah. And now I'm like 14 episodes in.
Oh, you went in it. Oh, God. I thought you were like, oh, yeah, I watched like 2 or 3 episodes while I was out.
No, I've been like 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah, bud.
It's been really good.
I'm glad. Yeah, it's just one of those shows. I know I got to watch it. It's too much to watch, but, we got it. This is why the triangle thing needs to happen. This is the only way we're going to watch shows.
Yeah.
At this point, even for me, it's the only way I'm going to watch shows. We got to do a mutual trade. So I'm glad this is happening. I'll watch Cyberpunk. I'll watch Parasite. I'll do it, I promise. Right now, currently in December, there's a lot of shows I need to watch because I told myself I would rewatch this show called Nisekoi, which is the show that I had Cameron watch.
Yeah.
So I said I'm going to rewatch it because I need to finish the manga because I said in that episode, I don't know if you remember, it's the manga that I stopped reading because I didn't like where it was going.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I decided after like 4 years, maybe I should finish it because it's my favorite romance series, and I should probably finish the whole damn series if I want to say that. So I'm rewatching right now, and it's so weird because this was like my shit. This was my first romance anime, and one of my first gateway anime. So watching it, and I watched it so many times. I rewatched it probably like 4 or 5 times. Back when I was in high school. Zach, that was 4 years ago. Almost 5.
That's a horrifying thought.
Isn't it? So now I'm watching this again and I'm like, this is so awesome. This is so nostalgic. Yeah. I am having so much fun. I've only watched 1 episode, but granted, because I forgot I said I was going to do it, so I slammed one the other night and I was like, oh yeah. I remember why I love it so much. So I'm excited to go through it. I'm excited for Cameron to go through it because, well, it's one of my all-time favorites. So, and he's been on this rom-com kick as well. So I'm excited when he finally decides to jump into it. And there's not too much I want to say about it, but it's gonna be really nice. I'm hoping for that really good closure. I did mention I finished reading the Demon Slayer manga. Oh man, is Normie Slayer so damn good, Zach?
It's so good.
It's so good, Zach. I'm getting to a point where I was only a couple more volumes left, right? I've just finished slamming volume 21, 1920-21, just last night. I also haven't slept. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you did not tell me that.
I have not slept. Weird as shit. But it's a lot of fun. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sleep because I need a physical schedule, so I may as well slam these manga because I told my friend that I would give it back to her, and it's been 2 months. So I figured I may as well do it. And, oh, my God. It's going to be a while until it gets animated to where it's at right now, but I can't wait. It's so good. I don't care. It's Normie. I don't care, Zach. Normie is good, Zach. I don't care.
I'm excited.
And speaking of Normie, I said I was doing Mob Psycho. I already said that already, so I won't go too much into that. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm trying to. I mean, I fell off the seasonal stuff. I was trying to watch as much anime as I could during this season. And I did. I tried. You can say at least I valiantly tried for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I did my best. I watched 2 to 3 episodes of like almost every anime of the season. Excuse me. So I tried. But at least I'm watching Bocchi, the only thing that matters. And that's about it. Oh man. I just want to mention this really quick. I'm really upset. I've been kind of holding my upsetness for this whole time. I got this paper cut while I was wrapping up presents on my knuckle. And I've been like just minutely pissed the whole time, but I'm trying to hide it.
Because of a stupid fucking paper cut?
Zach, why do paper cuts hurt like so much?
I don't know.
And also, why is it like low-key kind of scary when you get one, especially when you feel it happening? It's kind of like, it's so sharp, and it feels like a knife slicing through.
Yeah.
You ever think about when it happens and you feel it?
Yeah, and you just...
It's tough. I was wrapping presents because I ended up getting since last episode, I did end up figuring out some presents to get for my immediate family. So it's good. And they're all wrapped. They're all nice. And I decided, okay, I should probably get some for my shitter cousins, whatever. So bought a couple for them. I'm doing my best here, man. At least they had wish lists, though. So that helped. And I realized that is the way to go. So I probably should start enforcing that more often. Maybe make some. I mean, no one's going to buy anything from my wish list. Yeah. 4090. Yeah. Do you have anything on your wish list, Zach? Some lenses?
I don't know. No. I mean, I've been talking about wanting to try out new like lens filters and all of that kind of stuff, and I've been wanting to get like a little hand grip thing so that I don't have to wear a strap. I think that would be cool. But
it's pretty cool.
I mean,
you'd need a whole rig for it, though, wouldn't you?
But
well, I guess you could just go on the cold shoe, right? And then it.
Yeah. It goes on the cold shoe, and then it also loops around where the strap, like one of the little strap thingies.
I would love a hand grip. What I want is a the hand grip, like the upper one,
like a cage.
Well, I would have to get a cage, but like the one where you hold it on top instead of on the side. I found, not that I've tried it myself, obviously, but I found that if I imagine myself doing that type of thing, like recording cinematic type vibes, I think about it in my head, and that would be the most comfortable for me. But then I had to get a whole cage and shit because it just wouldn't really work out with what I have right now. And plus, I already have a thing on the underbelly or on the cold shoe for the small rig thing for them. The M6 is pretty crippled. I'm not gonna lie.
Really, what gave it away?
Obviously not as crippled as the M20 or 200 that we're looking at right now to you. But yeah, them. I really do. We got to do the thing.
The street photography.
Yeah,
thing?
we got to do the thing at some point in time.
That would be really fun.
Maybe when it gets warmer.
I mean, I don't mind being out in the cold, dude.
I have enjoyed bundling up again. I will say that. Wearing the longer pants and the t-shirt, hoodie plus coat combo. I've been kind of a hoodie plus coat combo type of guy these days.
I've been a flannel guy or hoodie guy.
And usually I'm the opposite. I'm gonna wear a t-shirt or a tank top, even though it's like 30 degrees.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, I never really bundle up very much. Like, even when it's like 35 degrees outside, I'm like, meh, I might put on a hoodie.
I've been starting to enjoy bundling up more. I don't know. I've thought about even scarves and shit. I haven't done it yet, but I imagine I would fuck up a scarf.
Oh yeah.
So I'd probably fuck up a scarf. I know my brother has a scarf, but I don't know. But anyways, that's all I have. I think that's it for me. I believe that's it for you. Probably. Thank you everybody for listening, and thank you everyone for watching. Glad to be back. Welcome back from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hope everybody by this time, I think it's not quite Christmas yet, but if you're watching this before or after Christmas, during Christmas, probably should be doing. You gotta be with your family. Fuck you guys. Hope you're having a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you don't do that shit. What's the other one? Kwanzaa? Hanukkah. What the fuck is Kwanzaa again?
I don't remember.
Is that the dice thing?
No, that's Hanukkah, I think.
Oh, it is Hanukkah?
Yeah.
What about the
Hanukkah?
That's Hanukkah too? What is Kwanzaa?
I can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
I feel, I said it, right? And I feel like I just kind of made that word up for some reason after I said it when I heard it out loud. I'm sorry. I feel like I offended someone. Thank you, everybody. By the way, by the time this episode goes out, Oh shit, actually no. I was gonna say we're doing a Minecraft speedrun. Shit, maybe not quite. But streams are back on my end, Anuki.io. I got a plug, but we are plugging anyways. And you can find my stuff and Zach's stuff in the description. You know the vibe. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting us so far. We're at, I think at this point the big 90 or 91. I cannot remember. I believe 90. I'm gonna, or well, you guys know. Maybe not. I don't even put it in the thing anymore. But who cares? Thank you. This episode right here is a drinking one, because we had said some bullshit on there. And then this one, let's go to the, what the fuck was it again, Zach?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Oh shit, we were on a roll. This one is the drinking one, and then this one was the
Club 33?
Club 33, the fine dining one.
Yep,
Fine
yep,
dining
yep, yep,
episode.
yep.
They're fantastic episodes, and you can go ahead and have a time. Put our playlist on and hit shuffle and have a damn time. Hopefully you missed the first couple episodes. Those are kind of cringe. I hope you guys have a good rest of your holidays. And goodbye, everybody.